Imagine standing before three gods. One of them always tells the truth, one always lies, and the third answers randomly. You have no idea who's who, and you're armed with only three questions. But here's the kicker. They respond in an alien language, using only da or J. You don't even know which one means yes. Let's break this down. First, you need to figure out a way to identify at least one god. A clever strategy is to ask one god about another. For example, you could ask God A, if I were to ask you if God B is the truth teller, would you say da? If God A is the truth teller, he'll tell you the truth about God B. If God A is the liar, he'll lie about what he would say, which means he'll also point to the truth. The random God, well, who knows what he'll say, but this question helps you eliminate the random God from your consideration. Now, let's say you've identified one God. You can use your second question to confirm the identity of the other two. Ask the identified God, is God C the liar? If he says da, and you've established he's the truth teller, then God C is indeed the liar. If he says ja, then God C is the truth teller. Now, with your third question, you can pinpoint the random God. Ask the liar, is God A the random God? If he says da, then God A is not the random God, and you can deduce who is who. If he says ja, then you know the opposite is true. This puzzle isn't just a test of logic, it's a mental workout that challenges your reasoning and problem solving skills. It's a reminder that sometimes the most complex problems can be unraveled with a bit of strategic thinking. So the next time you face a tricky situation, remember the gods and their language. Logic can be your best ally in the most confusing of circumstances.
Imagine you're in a room with three light switches, and in the next room there are three light bulbs. You can only go into the bulb room once. How do you figure out which switch controls which bulb? It's a classic puzzle, and the solution is surprisingly clever. First, turn on switch 1 and leave it on for about 5 minutes. This gives the bulb enough time to heat up. After 5 minutes, turn off switch 1. Now, immediately turn on switch 2. With switch 2 on, you're ready to head into the bulb room. As you enter, you'll see three bulbs. One of them is lit up. That bulb is connected to switch 2, the one you just turned on. Now, look at the other two bulbs. One will be off but warm to the touch. That's the bulb connected to switch 1, which you had on for a while before turning it off. Finally, the bulb that's off and cold, that's connected to switch 3, the one you never touched. This method uses thermal logic to solve the puzzle. It's a simple yet brilliant way to deduce which switch goes to which bulb without needing to flip switches multiple times or guess. You've just cracked a classic riddle using a bit of patience and observation. It's a great reminder that sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective.
Imagine this. You're trapped in a room with two doors. One leads to freedom, the other to doom. And standing guard are two individuals, one who always tells the truth and one who always lies. You have only one question to figure out which door is your ticket to freedom. Sounds impossible, right? But there's a clever way to navigate this mind-bending puzzle. Here's the key. You ask either guard, if I ask the other guard which door leads to freedom, what would he say? This question is a masterstroke of logic. Let's break it down. If you ask the truth teller, he will accurately tell you what the liar would say. Since the liar would point you to the wrong door, the truth teller will direct you to that same wrong door. Now, if you ask the liar, he will lie about what the truth teller would say. The truth teller would point to the correct door, but the liar will twist that and point you to the wrong one instead. In both scenarios, you end up with the same answer, the door that leads to doom. So, what do? You simply pick the opposite door. It's a brilliant strategy that flips the situation on its head. You've outsmarted the guards and navigated through their deception with just one question. This puzzle isn't just a fun brain teaser, it's a fantastic exercise in critical thinking and logic. It shows how asking the right question can lead you to the truth, even when faced with conflicting information. So the next time you find yourself in a tricky situation, Remember this approach. It's all about perspective and the power of a well phrased question.
Three friends check into a hotel room, and the total cost is 300 rupees. Each friend hands over 100 rupees, thinking they're all set. But then, the manager realizes the room only costs 250 rupees. So, he sends 50 rupees back with the bellboy. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The bellboy, being a bit sneaky, decides to keep 20 rupees for himself and gives 10 rupees back to the friends. So, now each friend has effectively paid 90 rupees to 100 rupees minus the 10 rupees they got back. That totals 270 rupees. Now, here's where the confusion kicks in. People often add the 20 rupees the bellboy kept to the 270 rupees, thinking it should equal 290 rupees. But that's where the trick lies. You are not supposed to add the 20 rupees, you should subtract it. Let's break it down. The friends paid 270 rupees in total. From that, if we subtract the 20 rupees that the bellboy kept, we are left with 250 rupees, which is exactly what the room cost. So, the missing 10 rupees isn't missing at all. It's just a clever play on numbers that trips people up. The riddle isn't about where the money went, it's about how we think about it. Logic wins here, and it's a great reminder to always look closely at the details.
A man is found dead in the desert and he's wearing a backpack. When they open it, they discover a parachute that didn't deploy. At first glance, it seems like a mystery begging for a logical explanation. But let's dig deeper. Picture this. The man was skydiving. He jumped from a plane, adrenaline pumping, the thrill of free fall coursing through him. But something went wrong. Maybe the parachute malfunctioned, or perhaps he miscalculated his jump height. Whatever the reason, he plummeted to the ground, and the desert became his final resting place. Now you might wonder why he ended up with a backpack instead of just the parachute. Here's where it gets interesting. In the world of skydiving, it's common for divers to carry extra gear, like a backup parachute or survival supplies. But in this case, the primary parachute failed to open, leaving him with no chance of survival. This scenario isn't just about a tragic accident. It's a reminder of how easily we can overlook the obvious when we're trapped in our own logic. The clues are there, but they're wrapped in a narrative that challenges our thinking. It's not just about numbers or equations, it's about understanding the story behind the situation. Sometimes, the most perplexing puzzles are the ones that require us to step outside our usual thought patterns. This isn't a math problem, it's a story trap that forces us to confront the unexpected. The man in the desert isn't just a statistic, he's a reminder of the risks we take and the stories we weave, even in the most dangerous of pursuits. So, the next time you encounter a puzzle or a mystery, remember, it's not always about finding the right answer. Sometimes it's about unraveling the narrative and embracing the complexities of life that lie beneath the surface.